Hello, esteemed viewers. Welcome to Faith Meets Politics. Today, let's dive deep into a topic that's both intriguing and sparking a lot of debate right now. What it might be like if Kamala Harris were to take the reins as President of the United States. Now, we all know that would be a disaster for the U.S. So, we'll first explore her political views, how she handles tricky questions, and the potential implications of her leadership on the future of our country. So, grab a seat and let's unpack this a bit. First, let's set the stage with a little background on Kamala Harris. She is a significant player in current U.S. politics, serving as the vice president and now running, believe it or not, for president. Harris has made waves with her policies and beliefs, which have become focal points for discussions regarding their potential effects on American society. For many, her approach signals a shift in priorities that could largely shape the American landscape. One major area of contention relates to social issues, particularly her stance on abortion rights. Harris has continuously voiced strong support for pro-choice policies, underlining the belief that women should have the right to make decisions about their own bodies. While countless individuals view this as a fundamental matter of personal freedom, there are many, and I mean many, who stand firmly against it. They argue that the topic raises crucial moral and ethical concerns. This divisive issue illustrates the broader clash of values in our country, something that comes to light in each voting cycle. Now, transitioning to another element of Harris's political style, we need to consider how she communicates. Throughout her career, she has earned a reputation for being somewhat evasive when answering tough questions. Now, this has raised concerns among critics who argue that her answers sometimes lack the clarity and directness needed, especially when addressing critical topics such as immigration, healthcare, and crime. Her approach can be interpreted as a political maneuvering, leading many to wonder whether she is truly transparent about her beliefs. When faced with challenging inquiries, it seems Harris often prefers to dance around the issues instead of addressing them head on. This tactic leaves some audience members feeling confused and longing for more unequivocal responses. Now, in a democratic system, informed voting is crucial, and this lack of clarity in her communication raises pertinent questions about how voters can make informed decisions. But consider this: if ambiguity becomes a hallmark of her communication, what does that mean for her leadership in a potential crisis? Critics argue that in times of urgency, a leader's decisiveness is paramount. Any hint of uncertainty in a leader's response could serve as a red flag for those yearning for a strong figure to confront challenges directly. Now, let's examine her overall governance philosophy. Many people express concerns that Harris's policies could nudge the country toward a more progressive agenda, a direction some fear could somehow sow division rather than unity. Detractors argue that her leadership might prioritize specific ideologies instead of pursuing practical solutions to real-world problems. It raises alarms among certain segments of voters who believe that her vision could lead to increased government intervention in matters like the economy and healthcare. They worry that while such interventions are intended to help, they could yield unintended consequences affecting everyday Americans. As we discuss economical issues under Harris's potential presidency, a significant number of citizens are already anxious about the implications of higher taxes and considerable government spending. These considerations impact everyone, for individuals and families striving to meet their daily needs. Major economical shifts can feel daunting, leading to skepticism about whether the proposed policies effectively prioritize long-term stability and growth. Now, shifting gears to foreign relations, there are those who suspect that Harris's presidency could encounter significant complications. Some fear that a leadership style emphasizing social justice may overlook the complexities of international diplomacies. Critics contend that given the current global situation, the U.S. requires strong, assertive leaders. They worry that an ambiguous or passive diplomatic approach could embolden adversities and make a world less secure place to live. Now, on the other hand, it's vitally important to acknowledge that not everyone shares these anxieties regarding Harris's potential leadership. Supporters argue that she's paving the way for a more inclusive, equitable future, believing that her policies are a necessary response to long-standing and injustice in the nation. This division of opinion underscores the heart of the matter. Elections serve as a battleground for competing ideologies. Voters should reflect on the perspective and values that resonate personally with them. But here's a pivotal question we must face. Could a Kamala Harris presidency spark considerable transformation in America? Or should that change lead down a risky and uncertain path? Many voices in the political arena advocate returning to a traditional governance principles. They contend that an emphasis on economical empowerment and individual liberties, hallmarks of conservatives' policies, could be a more effective route toward national prosperity and social unity. For those aligned with this perspective, supporting alternative candidates such as Donald Trump feels like the right choice. Many of Trump's supporters highlight his previous term, arguing that it was defined by significant economical growth and a clear international stance. They view his style of leadership as a marked contrast to the ambiguity associated with Harris. So, as we contemplate a future under Kamala Harris's presidency, it becomes clear that the stakes are incredibly high. This is a moment for voters to engage in a thoughtful analysis. It's essential to critically evaluate personal values and deliberate on the types of future they envision for this country. The decision ultimately lies within individuals as they consider which candidate aligns most closely with their beliefs and governance, national identities, and the kind of America they want to see. Whether you're inclined to support Harris, Trump, or any other candidate, let's keep one thing in mind. The future of America lies heavily on your involvement. As Election Day approaches, it's crucial to stay informed, participate in discussions, and ensure your voice is heard at the polls. Engage with politics process, educate yourself, and remember that your choices today will shape the trajectory of our nation for years to come. The power of our democracy lies in engaging citizens like you. So let's carry that responsibility with pride. Thank you and God bless.